Schauen wir uns echt die Trumas, darf zadig sein, aber alles, wie nicht mehr als gibt, was er war, man schreibt mit der Dove, geht schreiben beim Yitzchak. Es ist Shimon ben Yitzchak. Let's go with the Gemara, Rabbi side. This Gemara here, zadig sein, mit Aleph. Steckt da größe Seides. Five lines in the bottom. Zadig sein, mit Aleph. B'chir b'shem Chanina. Hier Shem Chanina sagt der Breise, Yerek, Klippen, Mayim, mit Stafen, to bewatel Isse. Omer Abzir, the Isse mit Teucham. Isse is mevatel, or the Heta is mevatel, depends on which one is the Shishim, or the Kuf. As a Chamachlekes in Geranoshe. Omer Avuna, Klippe Isse, Ma'alen es a Heta. The Klippe of an Isse is Ma'alen the Heta. What does that mean? The peel, the shell around the egg, or the clippers around the foods. So the clippers around the food is not so complicated, but the one that is complicated is the shell, which is around the heta, or around the hissa state, or the shell is mevatel the heta. Klippe isse malen es a heta. It's malen the heta. When do we say that it's mala, shalkum b'klepayim, you cooked it with the klippers, shlukas b'shlukas, both of them will cook. Aber shalkum beim klufos, if you cook beim klufos, means you took off the shell, that's koluf. B'she'ena klufos, where it wasn't taken off the shell. So one was the shell was off, one was the shell was not off, or she'ein klufos b'klufos, or the faket, shlugas b'she'en shlugan, suchim shir echad. What's maitis? What does it mean shir echad? Look to play Moshe Hazai. On Medala, look the klippe is a mal nesehete shem mitzaref l'kashir. The klippe is mitzaref to the kashir. Seemingly, whatever shir I need shishim, or I need the kuf, whatever happens to whichever halacha it is, upon him, you need to shear the heta or the issa, mitzaref the peel or the shell. Hadod the teime, ois shear shomanu. That shear which we're talking about, masvi lehochi, shisha masvi lehochi is meyo. Dafka shisholkam beklefeim or issa v'heta. We're talking about stomach. We're talking beklefeim. You cooked it with the peel on it, with the shell. Hein achiyei shlukas b'shlukas. Abel in sholkom beim klufos. Klufos means without the shell. You took off the shell, took off the peel. Oisheni klufos beklufos. Oisheni saber shlukas b'sheni shlukas. Sichen shirechot. What does that mean? The beklufos sichen. This is the point. Shirechot means like this. The beklufos meant it's shellless. You took off the shell. You took around the egg. You took it off. Sichen yoyse. Then you need a bigger shear to mevatel. Let's say an issa. Shein boiler zumizu. But then it's more porous. But once it has no shell around it, so it comes easier from one to another. And then you need a larger shear to mevatel the issa. He's not exactly explaining over here what it is. But upon him, this is understandable to say that when it doesn't have a shell around it, you need a larger issa or less of an issa, depending which one is issa. If the issa is one with the peel around it, so you need less because the peel holds it back or the shells hold it back. And faket, if it has no peel and it's the one which is the heta, so it goes in faster. So shell means it has the shell. The shell keeps in the issa. So this is the shum that we had before. It's not explaining exactly which one is which, but you have the shear, let's say a 45 and 47. So that will say that that's hanim milli that you need 45 is enough to be mevatel the issa. So you say why? Because it was in a shell. If it's not in a shell, then you need shishim because it's more, it's pilot more, it's more faster. That's how the Gemara is explaining it. Sagt the Merafulda, who's shakum b'kufayim, v'gam shlukas b'shlukas, ha'toises b'peik in the streifes, klufas, gasin klufas b'klufas, meaning without the shell. Aber klufas b'einen klufas, one was colored, one is not. One had the shell, one didn't have the shell. Loi, the oz sicha yoyse mimem hey or mem zayin. So you see, explaining exactly what we were talking about. Then you need more than 45 to be mevatel the issa. Why do you need more than 45? Because the issa didn't have a shell around it. This doesn't have a shell around it, so it's piled more. If it's piled more, so you need more than 45. So when you say 45, if the issa is encased in the shell, but it's not encased in the shell, then you need more. The boli mina moshe shel issa. Avlim issa b'klipa also. But if there was in the klipa, in the shell, ein yoytze tam mamish. The tam mamish doesn't go out. I don't know exactly what this means. Tam mamish. Tam is a tam. What's mean tam mamish? Or ein klufis b'klufis. Let's say it was not a koluf, which was mixed in. Not a koluf means it had the shell. Big klufa means it didn't have the shell. A shlukas, any shlukas, one was cooked and one was not cooked. Meaning you cook this and then you put it into the tarubas. Because you have shaf, kiven shaf klipas isa kvanis malu lachlupas. The klipa of the isa, what is the klipa? The klipa is it's not a macha, right? So what does it have to do over here? It's not. It shouldn't asa. It shouldn't be something which is mavatal. Because like it's a piece of wood. Shekvanis malu lachlupas. Shuv loy mitztafel. And this malach luchas means that there is a lachluch. It's porous. The shell of an egg is porous. Now what's this? Even this malach luchas, it's full. It's full, completely full. So it's not placed anymore to be poiled or to be beleya. Shuv loy mitztafel levatel this, because this shell is already full. Its belua is already full, so it's not mitztafel to be vatel this. It means to have about some sabos which goes to varash. So, but same thing by the bones of bosa, the loy mistafi. Why? The atzomas yesh lehem lachlukas. The atzomas do have moisture, tzas, and so he says by atzomas loy mistafi. Why is that mistafi? About because we say that it's full. This is the chlukas, the way how much cavity there is in the bones is enough. It's full, so maybe you can't be mistafi. The sfira of zira. The ein lonu loima that klipas isayeyu that the shell should assist levatel to be levatel the issa. Let's say it's a heta, and you want to say that you take the shell of the heta or the egg which has a heta to levatel the issa. Why can't you be messiah the shell? Because it doesn't have any moisture in it. There's no moisture in the shell. It's like a piece of wood or a piece of stone. If everything was beklipa side, the head side it was in a klipa, was in a shell. Then the klipa prevents the loylahavi plita gemura. It shouldn't give if the klipa is the shell is around the egg, which is also so it's not poiled. It doesn't omit the issa ubeliya gemura. So one is kolov. Koshkein, B'shneim Klufas, and both of them were Shneim Klufas, both of them had the shells removed. If some of it was missing, then you have to have the shear of Samach, not 45 or 47. Does that Pshitu? My Kamashan of Zira. The Lomanata Memhei Mem Zayin, who calls you a shear Memhei Mem Zayin, and we're talking now, we're talking back into the Gemara in the beginning, Ba'afroyach. He's talking, you took the egg, you open up the egg, and you find inside there's a chick inside. Im loisha klipas misayeya levatel oicha mitosha. It has to be that the klipper, the shell, helps it to mevatel what's inside. Chichasi ain't kan shear. When it's less, you don't have a shear. Hey, mashem behedya b'taisisham. Ham den yoytzu. Okay, this is the one about the. Then the yoytzu gil mamish. Gil mamish is talking about the embryo comes out. That doesn't come out mamish. It comes out only the tam. B'shlukas the matter b'reishu. This we talk about b'shlukas. When you cooked it, it's matter. Yeshloim keeping the gam klipas ahead and smaller lefus ahead. Both sides had a shell on it. The gam b'lavach he looked at it. No, you beg sheni the older. Iya mina mishari soon tatichet nasan avela. This that's the way now. Okay. So what do we ask on yesterday? The problem was yesterday was if it's not a machal and it doesn't become osa, so how could it be mala the klipa the zira? How could the klipa the shell be mitzaref to the heter? We can the klipa if it's not a machal, it doesn't become osa. So why is it mala the heter? What's the pshat? So I can find out pshat as everybody says. So here, I'll just paraphrase the Rambam. It's a long Rambam, but the Rambam in Perek Yud Gimel Halacha Zayin, the Machlokes Rambam right here. So it's a very interesting Machlokes. The Rambam says, "Ein hapsoile shel truma." This is the Tenoifis. The more in Gidanosha, Gidanosha. Let's talk about Tenoifis. He says, "Ein hapsoiles." He doesn't call it Tenoifis. He calls it psoile shel truma. It's not mitzaref im hatruma le'eser achul. The psoiles of the truma is not mitzaref. Av psoiles shel seemingly that's also the clipper. Also psoilus. Nobody eats the clipper. You throw it away. That's a psoilus. So it's not mistarif with the truma less achulin. In other words, when you have to count to 100, let's say it's 100, the truma is 100, or the ice it's chad b'trei, whatever it is. So you don't count the psoilus of the truma to aser. That doesn't get into the count. It's not also because nashkamacha portion is 8, 7, whatever it is. That's not also. Avol, if that's true, right? Avol, the Rambam says, psoilus shel chulin mitzavos ima chulin lahalis es atruma. How could that be? If you tell me the psoilus of the truma is not mitzvah to the truma to become osa because it's not a machal, doesn't become osa, so why on the reverse when you say you have the chulin and the chulin is going to be about the beya which is truma, and you want to have, let's say, 100 to 1, or you want to have today mayor, why do you count the psoilus of the truma to be monashach? If it's a 0, you don't count it. Why do I count it only when I'm mibatel? What's the header over here? Okay, in case that he goes through the whole zach over here, shame, but that's everybody can see that.
It's oichel, but it's oichelin. Starber lachila, chumnitin lachila. So you can't eat it, but it's oichelin. It's still oichel. It's got oichelin.
Nachem, a bit slow. It looks like an easy sight. Nachem, look, even Nachem.
It's oichel, but it's oichelin. It's betam. It's considered oichel.
What? Truma.
Truma is nitla achila, so you can't eat it.
Can't eat it. So what? So it doesn't become us.
Truma it doesn't count.
Why? I could use it for when it's chulin to be matl.
It's tumas oichelin. It's considered oichel, but it's tumas oichelin. It has a shame.
So talking for bittul, it's totally what in the shir.
Truma is the mitzvah of consumption. You have to be able to consume it.
So when you get to the din of tumah, it becomes tamei. So usually you're coming from Taras. And the Taras steht doch as well the yad of an oichel is considered like an oichel. As steht in Taras. Why? That's when you get to tumah. So it's part of the zach. It's part of the zach. Oh, but we're talking. What?
Didn't tumah only.
No, it's
Is it oichel? Yeah, that's tumah.
You see, it's called oichel.
So if it's an oichel, that means oichel on the other side. This side also.
You don't consume it, so it's not truma nitla achila. You have to consume it.
So it's not oichel for tumah. Okay. Yeah, they're good. Not oichel when I get it. Good.
So why would Gabi one is, the other one is not?
So he's saying, so amazing like that. If we get to tumah, it's mekabel tumah. If it's a mekabel tumah, because it's a machal for tumah, it's a machal, so therefore it can be vatal this. If you want to use it on the truma side, that it should become outside truma, it has to be something which you can consume. Something you can't consume, look, that's the come out. Good, that's good. Sounds good. I want to say a different shot. If you was looking up shot, English, what you saying? What?
Chametz also, it's also the same.
That's in other words, in order that the chametz should become chametz, it has to be machalodam. Once it became machalodam, to get rid of it, then you already need nisam achilas kelah. It was looking up as I want to say because the get the din that it should be truma, and truma should be also. There you don't count it. Why don't I count it over there? Because there you have to have kedushas truma. Kedushas truma. Kedusha is something along the lines of what you're saying, but the kedusha truma is andash. Kedusha truma has to be something which has a kedusha. This doesn't have kedusha truma. Tenoif is nishkan kedusha truma. Aber neged to mevatel the heter, you must have the heter mevatel tosio.
Says, could he use the pseudus of truma to be part of the meya of chulin to be mevatel the truma?
Oh, that's Altstein. That's a Bukhari Rishonim. Listen to this. So that's the Rambam, yes? And Achamol. It's mistarif. Ein absurd shel truma mistarif is in a truma le'asa. Doesn't become osa. To say that it's osa, you don't have to have a bittul keneged the klipper, but it's mistarif to the head. Look, the Raivid. Ein absurd shel truma mistarif is in a truma le'asa achulin. Absurd is achulin mistarif is in achulin la'anas is esa. Those look the Rambam. Oime Avraham. Look, the Raivid. Yoyse mikan amru b'Yerushalmi peikei alochates. Who's the Yerushalmi? You bring the Yerushalmi peikei. Okay, it's not exactly over here, but I can put them to repeat it over there. Shab soiler shel truma mistarefes imachulun levatel hatruma. What's the dome? What's the Ravid? What's the Ravid? What's the Ravid mechulik over here? What's the mechulik? It's like the mamish with the Rambam, right? Ein absoiler shel truma mistarefes imatruma. Le'eser achulin. You don't count the psoilers to aser le'eser achulin. Doesn't go into the count, but again to this that you have to have whatever 100 or roiv keneged the psoilers. Av psoilers achulin. It's after the achulin. Halas is a truma. but you could be mistarefit in Vadal Yisib, it doesn't become in Yisib, you're not mistarefit. I'm Avram, Yosim Mekan Amru, B'Yisham Mishab Soil Shatrum, mistarefit in Mechulin, the Vatl Atrum, Shtei Dod. So Shtei Dod, Bittel. In other words, what the Rebbe is adding on, he's learning it from our Gemara. I missed it. But he's saying in the Yishalmi Shtei, that what? That not only that, Shapsoil Shatrum, mistarefit in Mechulin, it's mistarefit with the Chulin to Mevatl the Trum. There's one thing is that Torah the mala, there's din of mala. Once you have a mala, means you could eat it, but there's no din that you have to throw it away. Here it says nishno dos, you don't have to throw it away, but it becomes bottling ganzen. And he's saying that when you get to the hete, shapsoy shatruma mistafis amachul levatl satruma, it becomes bittel and ganzen. So he says here that it was. Shloimeh is battle legami. Kivi shetzorach lahafrish achas. According to Rama's opinion, it's not a bittul legami because you have to be mafrish one. V'litl lekoyin. That's the din by the mur. The din is that you still have to take one out, even though you have 101 to connect though. Ain't specific. Why doesn't it become bottling answer? Like the umid the mas lefi cheshbon you go boss the cheshbon lechosh tan lefar dreish seva. V'histig arayvid yoysim mikanam b'Yerushalmi. Look, the arayvid not starker. As well, shab soilish al trumah. The psoilis of the trumah mistaref lahalis achulin levatla trumah. The psoilis, not only that, you put the psoilis together with the trumah, it's levatla trumah also, and that the Rambam doesn't hold. He also doesn't become a bittul. You still have to take one out, and echad has to go out because it's here. The pshat is holchanach haroiv, holchanach hameya. You could eat it, but you still have to take one out because no bittul. It doesn't destroy it. But he holds that I behold, Mishnah does, it becomes a bittul also, and you don't have to take one out. Oh, it's mistaref even to be mevatlet. That's what the Rebbe is saying. Dush take Yishalmi, and dush the Rambam is gelost. The Efshe I was the Rambam. If the Yishalmi says like that, why does the Rambam leave it out? The Efshe the Rabbeinu Soiva shein aloch kiravuna shein klipa is the mistaref and the halas is adam negate to the din of bittul. The bittul doesn't have, but everything it has. Oh, so if you have a Torah's bittul, so your question was, if you have a Torah's bittul, now could I use this heter? Once I'm mevatlet, can I use this heter on the other side? If it's bittul, yeah, you can use it. It's in Gans and a heter. But if I say it's only a din in ma'ala, so you can't use it. You can't use it for Torah's heter. You can't use it. It's only to takes out this. So those are the Chayes, those are the Rambam shit. Okay, so I'll do more right. Gulei Beyim. 3 lines in the top, 4 lines in the top, and Amud Beis. That's the name of Beis. Gulei Beyim Mutar. What says Gulei Beyim Mutar? What is a Gulei Beyim? This is an egg that was premature. It was a preemie. It was hatched prematurely, or it's not yet ripe to be hatched. And where do I learn out from? I learn out from the pasuk. And the pasuk says, "Shoydei ibe." The pasuk in the Yid, "Shoydei ibe." Is below Yigoyel. Tiflat, Perosa, like the Shakal. In other words, the shoy of the Goyim, they're Misabe, they have children, and they're not sick and they don't become spoiled. Beyim Shikrimu, a Beyer, which is fertilized egg, Shikrimu, Hareyosu, once it starts to ferment and starts the process of the chicken process, so now you're not eat anymore. It's a suit, it has dinner in the Vela. Muzaris is just a little bit more than the krimu. It starts the shell. Muzaris becomes further along, further developed. Hanefesh hayofa toichas. It's a very interesting lotion. What's mean hanefesh hayofa? A person who's a yofa nefesh means he's not an istinus. The Gemara calls it somebody who's istinus means somebody who's very particular. Chayei mein chaim zot the Gemara. Somebody a big istinus. He's always, he's always ekeldik. He's always mishugat. This bothers him. That bothers. This is dirty. This, that. It's chayei mein chaim. So the Gemara calls someone who's the opposite. He's not so particular. It's not istinus. A nefesh hayofa. It's called the nefesh hayofa and make this essence. Why? It's an interesting halacha. This halacha is somebody who's in istinus, meaning that the beyer that starts to ferment, that starts to develop into a chicken, is muzorah and it's meshukas by him. If by him is ekeldik, he's not allowed to eat it. The Torah says it's allowed in the Torah. So that's what he's saying. Nefesh hayofa, and the Torah says. Motze behem dam. Meshukas means, let's take a look at the Moshe. Let's see, look at the Moshe. Gulei Bey on the right side, the narrow column. Gulei Bey in Mutorim. Teseftehu beig test, Pelita shall bayim mutarim, but the bay starts to give out. Umefanish the zeu meloshin shoyroi ibe, the shor now is mu'ube, you have a shor, it becomes pregnant, so it becomes bigger. So that's the bay also. It's interesting comparison. He compares the shor ibe, the shor that's pregnant now with a child. The bay is also becoming pregnant with a child. It comes out, and a chick comes out, right? Meloshin mishoyroi ibe v'lo yagel. I didn't give it out yet. Beim shikorim or afroya b'seichon. It starts to develop the peel around the chicken. This is also muzorish. Is it further developed? We're talking here now. Not it was fertilized by another chicken. We're talking about menakaka. Someone who's not, he can eat it. In other words, it doesn't bother his sensibilities. That's the rest he could eat. The beim shekrimu, sheschilu srakim efroya chasuris. It starts to develop. It's osse muzore sheyoshu aleim tanagoyles. He's talking here not like the Pnei Moshe. Pnei Moshe learned this was something fertilized from the ground. It was from the cham. He's saying here it comes from a tanagoyles. V'yishel afra the ara shein afroyach noitzim imenu. Afroyach is not coming from fertilized egg. Is nefesh hayofish ain't an istinus. If he's not an istinus, he's not so particular. Ain't died to kotziba yoichol. If he's not kotzi, he's not ekeldik, you can eat it. He's allowed to eat it. And if not, look the Rash Shirila on the right side. Look to the Zoid. Gulei beim mutoris hanochem ma shupish by ba'al the hiku hatanagoylis al beis rachma. The Tanagoyis comes and gives a clap on the stomach. Ve'pilo beim. We're talking about over here now. It was mapel, the beim shloi nigmru. In other words, it was a primi, so it was born prematurely. Was the shminon the loicha shveiv mechai afa pishu loi nigmru legam. It's not called eidim mechai. Shori ibu v'lo yigo. Possible be yiv. Okay, derech Yerushalmi l'ifsa psukim refayish in yonim. Brings psukim from Tanakh to explain the Yerushalmi. K'may ki nefu v'dam b'yedeihem l'el pekisha kameduch. Why do you call the plitas harechem? In other words, what the egg gives out. Mitzad hamura she'ir gil. Why do you call it gil? Where's the line gil? Gil means famis. That's a lashon from ekeldik, disgusting. Umeshani the lishna the krohu the sir shori iber v'lo yagel. If a shor gives birth, kloima mashgiach Hashem al harosha. The Eibusher mashgiach on the Rishoyim shemaber hazoche es hanekeva b'zman iber v'lo yikoidim v'lo yacher b'inyan shelo yagel. In other words, if this fertilizing happens where it's not the zman iber, it's not good for the chicken. So the Rebbeinu Shloim, B'Rov Chasodov, he's mashgiach on the iber should only happen. It should only fertilize the chicken. The hens should only happen with zman iber. V'shavel Hashem. Hashem ain't b'tzoyin l'hagel harechem hazera haniklat by elu sho'ilu l'oilam l'pri. Only wants it that it should be from a pri, not it should be l'ashchosa. Harei kan shazera nifla ben harechem kori gil. So what Akaponim was bringing out here, the Rash Shirila, that the zera that comes out of the rechem is called gil. What's the word gil? Loshen plitas kelim. Plita of kelim. Gulei kelim. Gulei kelim is the plita of the kelim which comes out. Afkan rakma shalom tegoyim. So what does it mean? So that's okay. So now we know what it means is when it develops, the egg develops into a chick. Now it starts to develop. Asur is mishum neveila. It's also mishum neveila. Uzora sheinu shel zocha vein afroyach niklat b'hem le'olam. Nefesh hayof v'toichlum. Sheinu istin vein taita kotzim v'toichlum. V'af pi sheyoshu aleim tanagoyles yomim rabim. He's a nefesh hayof, so he's allowed to eat it. He's allowed to eat it. Okay, so what I was looking at, somebody asked me yesterday, we spoke on Purim. So you have some people who listen on the WhatsApp, and they come ask Shadis. Look, you heard we said on Purim, Chabib was up in the Yeshiva, that Chanukah is a din for Yoim. Ibal Chanukah is a din for Yoim, so that's why, according to Rabban Goyin, you could say Al Nisim before the Kriyas Megillah. Ma Shenken, Leute Rabban Goyen, before Hanukkah left. In other words, before you light the Hanukkah, you say already Al Nisim in the Ma'am. Ma Shenken, by Purim, you have to wait till you say the Megillah. And nothing can be Zogan Al Nisim. If not, you can't say Pavod. The Rebbe forgot to say also, when we learn the Megillah, Tutzachut Banes. This is a Mokam Anes. The Megillah is Mokam Anes, and that's why you can say Al Nisim in the Mokam Anes. So, fragment, wie ist du als Zach? He heard from Yosheber, du sucht, that Chanukah is not kein Yom. Wie der Rashiv genommen hat, das ist nicht für Yom, Chanukah, wie der sagt. So I told him, it says that they were Kaveya, the Yom Tovim, Behal Ba'edo. Kaveya Hal Ba'edo, it's a Yom for Hal. Hal can gesagt, some on Ha'edo. But I forgot that Rashiv also said, very right from the Mishabur. Mishabur brings that the Shitz Rishonim, that you say Shechayonu on Purim when even out of Megillah. Just get Megillah, Shechayonu. So you see the Ferish. If you can say Shechayonu without a Megillah, the Charaya, Asiyah didn't for Yom. Okay, this will not go. What?
Shachmas Matalas Vyani? Shechayonu.
Yeah, Zikr, but without the Megillah, yeah. But he says that without this, you could say Shechayonu. It's for Yom. It's didn't for Yom. That's why you could say Charaya. That's not a dim that Chanukah. Chanukah is a dim for Yom. You can say Shechayonu. There's no. Okay, so we'll figure out Kasha by saying, you know, for a Shach, when you do it, Shach used to come in the Bismedish, and part of which we learned like Ansan After, they had Chavuz learning at night also. So we got Samol Akasha in the middle of the night, get Rabbi Say, what's a Pshat? You get so excited, you can't shlum. So we'll figure out that. So the Gemara, this is bothering me, just laying out the Gemara. The Gemara says Kufta Zayin in Abu Psachim, Lechem Moini, so that's Oino Dorim Habe. And noch Pshat and Lechem Moini is Daka Shalom Beprusa, Afu Beprusa, and noch Pshat is Tanya Nameochi, that one, Ishtoy Oife, what? Who Masig Vishtoy Oife? Who Masig Vishtoy Oife? Who's Masig Vishtoy Oife? Meaning, in other words, Anoni, what does Anoni do? He doesn't have the money to go to the bakery and pay $65 a pound for a pound of matzah, that's what he can get. So he does it together with, how does he eat bread a whole week? Shkebekarai. Back the bread with the salmon with the bayis. That's how you do it. So how does it work? You need one take care of the flame in the oven, the Gemara, and one takes care of the matzah, the bread, right? So the oven, everybody knows anything about an oven. Oven stays hot when you put it in the wood. It stays hot, right? When the wood finishes burning, or it's not exactly the temperature you need, you can't bake. So you have to be with Tamsim to know exactly the time. And there's a chanoni, also you can go to some waffen, helps it just like this. Or to turn on the button and put in the stove. So he has to be with Samson that when the fire comes to the point where you can make the afiyah, that's when the matzah has to be ready. If not ready at that time, so what's going to come out? The shkim kamatzah, zan chometz, or the sinjan kamatzah. So that's the darker shaloni. That's it. Okay, that's it. In Shechnoch and Tuf Samuch wird gebracht der halacha. Mechaber passen this halacha. But Mechaber brings the halacha. We bring this. The Torah also. Two things like this: Balei Ma'aseh, Siv Beis, v'Chasidim Machminim Ma'atzmam, the Machmeh, Kegoyim Machminim v'Loshim Be'atzmam, v'Oifen Kahida Minim Ma'adak Shaloni Hu Masik. He's the one that's masik. He heats up the oven, and while he's heating up the oven to the maximum temperature, v'Ishtoi Oife, and she puts together the dough, and they know exactly the mechaber the time to do it. L'chein mitzvah kolodim nishtadlu b'asis mitzvah yosam heino inoi gadoni harosh. This mechaber brings the rosh. That's the Darker Shalom. Magavrom steht, as well as Elek as that word, that mitzvah boy yosim b'shlucha. That's what we learn. This dinner. You got to do be'azmai, mitzvah boy yosim b'shlucha. So I don't understand that by saying. If you say mitzvah boy yosim b'shlucha, it's a Gemara in Kedushin, mitzvah boy yosim b'shlucha, you got to be mekadosh in isha. So mitzvah mekadosh zayin isha, and mekadosh zayin ish mekadosh boy b'shlucha. But to say mitzvah boy yosim b'shlucha, as I mean that you have to be mekadosh in isha. But matzah do adin that ich darf backen the matzah. Ich darf allein backen the matzah. You give me your matzah, nicht gedik? Wie du hast adin, ich darf backen the matzah, and of them zukt sich der mitzvah boy yosim b'shlucha. Eiche teislet. Matzah darf ich essen. Okay, but that's only small. But I have to bake my own matzah. Steht doch am Moedige Morgen Avram. Morgen steht, als es da mitzvah, wenn du lernst, mal ich beprüße, ach, beprüße, ich will, Er line daf Estonia, line daf Bakamaz. Das ist größer Kiddush
People feel more important than big time matzah.
was? Yeah, but that's not the push shot. That's not the push shot. I'm just saying. And when you go to the bakery, so you want to be Mekayim this, that's going to be the Sheba, you might shliach. Make it for shliach, yeah? Okay. Now look at it.
People feel more important. People may feel more important than big time matzah.
Scott is